Now you've shot the video and it's time to edit the video. And this is where the fun and also, I won't lie, a little bit of the stress comes in because editing is a beast on its own. You know, for so many years, I edited my own videos and I had to learn how to do it. The great news is there are so many tutorials, probably here and other places online, where you can learn the basics on how to edit on pretty much any software. Now, my keys for editing are as follows. I do a first pass where I just create the structure, very similar to how I script actually. First pass is just what are the bones of this video? Let me make sure all the jokes make sense. Let me make sure there's no takes of me making mistakes that are in there that I can avoid. That's the first pass of editing. The second pass of editing, just like scripting, is how do we now infuse a little flavor into this edit? Things like, okay, is there something that wasn't scripted that we can add that just makes it so much more fun?
Teenage Mushroom Ninja Turtles.
Was there improv? Is there an extra facial reaction we can throw in? Did something magical happen on set and we are gonna decide, let's just throw that in the video, even though that wasn't as we planned? Can we add some editing tricks? For example, could there be text to emphasize a certain point? Should we punch in on this joke? Should we frame it in a way where we cut this distracting thing out of frame that we didn't recognize on set? So the second is where we give the edit a glow up. That's the second pass. The third pass for my videos is where I add music. One thing my psychology degree taught me was that if people are exposed to the same thing for a long amount of time, they become used to it and they start to tune out. So for example, you're studying in a room and you start reading and you start to tune out. So science will show that if you turn off the lights or open a window or change positions, your brain will refocus on whatever the task is. I use the same science while editing my videos. So underneath my videos, I have a subtle, not distracting, loop track of some sort. It's usually like a hip hop, nothing too aggressive. I put that at a reduced volume underneath my comedy videos so that there's just, a little something more going on. However, I usually cut that instrumental very strategically throughout the video. On a punchline, I may cut the audio and punch in, just so there's something to emphasize the punchline and the audience refocuses on what's happening. If someone's been speaking for a little too long, I will cut to someone else, just so they can refocus on the story as well. Okay, everybody write down either a movie or TV show, and then we'll take turns acting them out and we have to guess, okay? But you cannot talk. So there's all these tricks on how you can keep people's attention and make sure things don't become too stagnant. That's 3 passes. Fourth pass of editing is watching the video. I will take off my editor hat, I will take off my writer hat, and I will watch my edit as simply a viewer. I will imagine as if I went online, I saw this video, I'm gonna click it, let me start watching. If I get bored, I need to trim down that video. Am I understanding what's happening in the video? Or were there moments where I was like, wait, I have to rewind, what did they say? If that's the case, I need to fix whatever audio issue caused me not to understand. If I'm watching the video and I think, this was really strong and this was really strong, but honestly, I'd probably click away at that section. Do I need that section? Should I take that section out? So I always watch the last pass as a viewer from beginning to end to get my overall thoughts about how I could improve. And then I go back, I make the necessary adjustments, and I hope other people will like it, like I did. There have been times where I become a sensitive artist. This is not a rarity. It has happened many times where I am so passionate about a scene, and when we're shooting it on set, I thought, this is amazing. I love it. I love the way this was performed. And then I watch the edit, and I know in my heart that, it doesn't really translate, or this is the part I actually like the least. And then I had to make the decision of, do I cut this thing I enjoyed so much from set for the better of the project, or do I leave it in? And honestly, this is where your instincts as a creator will kick in. And you may sit there and tell me that I don't know what my instincts are. You will know in that moment. It's usually the first thought you have. If I watch a project and I go, that's not that good, but then I have to go through the thoughts of but no, it's supposed to be good and it looks so good. And if you have to do all those justifications, but your first thought was, I think I could live without this, your instinct is probably right. If I'm really on the fence about an edit or a joke landing, I think it's important to put your ego aside and say, friends and family, gather around. I need you to watch this. Please watch this. And then I do 2 things. One is I ask for their feedback, but more importantly, I watch them watch it. Because people's live reaction, that does not lie. So very often when someone is watching something of mine, They're looking at the screen, but I'm just looking at them because I am looking at them. Okay, they chuckled there. Oh, they didn't get that joke. There wasn't even a sparkle in their eye. They didn't get that joke. You gotta put your ego aside sometimes and know that, hey, if the goal of this is to bring people in, people understanding and people enjoying is important. But again, if the goal is, I'm making this for me, then don't. When I started making videos in 2010, it was very normal to have an intro that was a little longer. Hey, I'm Lily. Thanks so much for watching this channel. How's your day going? I hope it's doing good. You know what happened the other day? That was a very acceptable thing. That has changed, in my opinion. I feel like more and more people want to dive right into the content. And so now how I start my videos is I edit all that fluff out and I say, hey, how's it going? I'm Lily Singh. So the other day, my family tried playing game night. Boom, you're in it now. You're in it, and that fluffy intro is edited out. Same with an outro. There's a little bit more leniency with an outro because people have already kind of watched your video to get to that point. But I feel like if you want to have a lot of that fluffy conversation, save it for the end of the video where you've already got your view. I end my videos with an end card and a call to action. My end card is something that is a template. So it's a video of me in the corner, and then there's links that you can click. Now, if you're making YouTube videos, know that if you want things at the end card to be clickable, meaning subscribe here, click here, check out my last video, you have 20 seconds to do it. This is why it's good to be aware of functionality of platforms, because if you spend a minute saying, thank you so much for watching my video, like maybe make sure you subscribe, and I hope you had a good day, and make sure if you take more than 20 seconds, those links are no longer clickable. It's important to say a call to action, but be concise. But call to actions are important at the end. So when I edit my videos, I ensure there's a place to drive people to my last video because my goal is to be a storyteller that brings people in. And what better way to bring people in than to get them to not only watch one video, but then my last video, and then my video after that, and then my video after that. And so I'm just trying to keep people engaged for as long as possible. All right, now it's time for you to edit your project. And don't forget to post it in the project gallery because I'm looking forward to seeing it. Next up, we'll talk about taking your video and optimizing it across various platforms. We're about to get so nerdy.